propelled me to this work was really a deep, deep yearning to find a place of coming home. A place where I could settle, a place where I could find that kind of connection of unconditional loving and absolute visceral felt sense of belonging. So much so that I could let go of all of the stories that I'd carried for so long around not belonging, around not being part of the world, around not deserving to be here, around not being welcomed here. You know, and those stories I see in the women that I work with and the women that we work with so often perpetuated in our culture. This sense of not being enough, this sense of not belonging, this sense of not being able to find home. So when I found this work, it was like something happened inside of me where I kind of locked, I joke about myself, it's like I docked into the mothership. You know, like I found that place where suddenly I had like a lightning rod or you know, fire hose to the goddess. And it was the thing that I had been looking for, and I didn't have the cognitive words for it. I'd done all kinds of studies. You know, I'm an anthropologist, I'm a theatre performer, I've travelled all over the world looking at the ancient healing practices of theatre, and yet here I was in Northern California with a lineage that spans back to my homeland, which is England, and somehow everything comes together in this lineage. And that's really why I was so moved and so profoundly dedicated to bringing this work out in the depth of coherency and realness that it really has to offer. You know, we joke, and I joke, about the fact that I've fallen off the edge of woo-woo. And that's a statement that a client of mine once used with me, and I laughed uproariously when she told me about it because I so identified. I want to say something to you, that this path is so far from woo-woo, and I'm going to tell you why. When I first saw all of the women dressing up as goddesses in my life, I had a reaction to it, I'll be honest. I come from England, and there's a little bit of a reaction in me about that. However, when you step into the field of what's real in this work, you will discover, and I discovered, that there is so far from being on the edge of woo-woo. There is something so real and so at depth in these mystery school teachings that it's kind of ineffable to put words to it. But it's really a place where we get to become, to really drop out of our ego beings and really become embodied in our essence. And what that really means for me is the freedom of expression, the freedom to breathe and be the bigness of my being and be received on a planet in the way that I'm meant to be here, to walk in the footsteps of queens and priestesses and great mothers and Tara and Kuan Yin and all of these figures that we can look to who all live within each one of us. We are those, and we have been separated from that knowing for so long. So what I'm here to say to you is that you are that goddess. You are Kuan Yin, you are the Mother Mary, you are the Great Mother, you are the Queen. You are all of those energies. They live in you, and they live in me. And then when we actually free them up and get to play together, it's the most fantastic feeling on the planet, really. So that's why I'm here with Deva. That's what drew me here. That's what made me want to be of service with this work. Because I want that sense of coming home for all women on the planet who are drawn to this path. I want you to be able to come home to somewhere that feels resonant for you,